Hello, my name is Gabby. Welcome back to my channel. And today you're gonna see a reading vlog that I've been working on since the beginning of December, where I read 4 romance books. The books that you'll see me read in this video are In a Holidays by Christina Lauren, Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade, Written in the Stars by Alexandria Bellafleur, and Heartstopper Volume 2 by Alice Oseman. These are the 4 books, and I'm sorry for all the terrible lighting and background noise. If I look like a mess, that's because this week has been an absolute fucking mess, and I'm trying to stay positive and optimistic, but it's really hard. In this vlog, you'll see me read these 4 romance books, and you'll also see me go through one of the hardest weeks of my fucking life. And I tried to vlog some of it, but honestly, like, I was just not in the best mood, so I'm sorry if this vlog really sucks. For anyone who doesn't know, my sister just had a surgery on Monday, and she's been going back and forth to the hospital since. She's still in the hospital right now, and today's Friday. And on top of that, Taylor Swift dropped a new album, and there's just a whole lot of chaos this week, so you'll see all about that in this vlog. So I'm sorry that this vlog is a roller coaster, but this week has been a roller coaster and I just want it to be over, so I really need the distraction of editing this vlog today, so I'm going to do that. Sorry for all the tank sounds, but Tank is being annoying right behind me. Good morning. Sorry, this lighting is kind of strange, but last night I got 140 pages into Spoiler Alert, and I'm not gonna lie, towards the beginning of this book, I wasn't a huge fan of it at the very beginning of it, because all I really knew about this book going into it was that it involved an actor and that it involved like fan fiction. The show that this actor is on is very like Game of Thrones vibes, which is why I wasn't really enjoying it, because I'm not a fan of Game of Thrones or like fantasy shows, and there was a lot of talk about his sword play and his horseback riding and stuff like that that I just didn't really care to read. Now, after taking some time to get into it, I'm really starting to enjoy these 2 main characters. I don't know, I love that she's a geologist, which means that she like studies rocks, and that's just like really interesting. I don't think I've ever read a character in a book that's interested in something like that, and then he's really opening up to her about stuff that's been happening in his life and like things that he's gone through, and so it's starting to get really cute and I'm really starting to enjoy it. The only thing that I find a little hard to believe is that this actor he has a fan fiction account and he writes fan fiction for his own show, and she also writes fan fiction, and they actually know each other online and on their fan club names, but they don't know that it's each other in real life. And I just find it a little bit hard to believe that an actor would be writing fan fiction for his own show. So that was definitely my biggest critique of it in the beginning, because I'm like, okay, you really gotta suspend your disbelief on this one, right? But besides that, I am thinking it's really cute so far, and I'm curious to know what's gonna happen when they finally realize who each other are, really. I don't know. I have to go to work all day today, but I'm planning on reading some later. Hello, I am finally home from a long day. I went to work all day today, and I did get an hour lunch break, but I was so busy like responding to emails and eating food, and I just didn't have any time to read this afternoon while I was at work. And then I got home and I had to edit a YouTube video and eat again. I ended up going to McDonald's for dinner. Ugh. And anyways, now I'm back home. It's like 11:15 and I'm ready to jump back into this book. No more distractions. I'm just ready to lay in bed and read and just have the best time, because it's been a very long day. Hey, good morning. Last night I stayed up pretty late reading Spoiler Alert. I got to page 295, and I was up pretty late reading last night because I wasn't feeling that great. I think McDonald's just was not sitting well with my stomach. I feel like I can't eat fast food the way that I used to when I was in high school. Like, I used to eat Taco Bell like every single day in high school, and now like I cannot eat Taco Bell. And like there's some fast foods that I still can eat, like I thought McDonald's was one of them, but like sometimes when I have McDonald's it just does not sit well with my stomach. I don't know anymore. I don't even know. But anyways, I got to page 295 of Spoiler Alert. I'm pretty deep. The more I get into it, the more I really like Marcus's character, and the more I just want to like throat punch his parents in the fucking throat. I can't stand his parents. They're awful. They're really terrible. And just hearing about some of the things that his parents did growing up, it's frustrating. but I'm still really enjoying their characters. I'm enjoying them more and more as the story continues. I feel like it's kind of like Fangirl in the way that, like, because it includes fan fiction, it kind of reminds me of Fangirl, but also the way that it includes some pieces from the fan fiction, and it includes like some dialogue and things from the fandom like in between the chapters. I feel like that kind of reminds me of Fangirl. Also, this book is a lot more sexually explicit than the cover might make you think it would be. There are some very graphic erotic sex scenes happening in this book, and I'm like, whoa! I never know what to expect when you get a cover that looks like this, because sometimes these books are so light and fluffy and they don't have any erotic scenes whatsoever, and then every now and then you get these books like this one, or like Fix Her Up, or like, I don't know, these random romance books where there's like really erotic sex scenes and you're like, oh shit. And there's some very erotic scenes happening in this book, but you know, it's fine. I'm fine with it. I just thought I'd let you know that it's way more erotic than I thought it would be. But it's pretty cute. I have about 100 pages left, and I don't go into work today until 4, so I think I'm just gonna read the last little bit of it this afternoon. And hopefully I really enjoy it. Like, so far I am really enjoying it. It's surprising me. I wasn't a huge fan at the beginning of it, but now these characters are really growing on me. I'm just gonna make some breakfast and read this book. This is one of my favorite songs by Rihanna, and since it's Friday, you know, why not? Cheers to the freaking weekend, I drink to that, yeah, yeah. Oh, let the Jameson sink in, I drink to that, yeah, yeah. Don't let the bastards get you down, turn it around for another round. Everybody at the bar, everybody put your glasses up and I drink to that. And I drink to that. Life's too short to be sitting around miserable. Yeah, and people gonna talk whether you're doing bad or good. Oh, got a drink on my mind on my money. Hey, looking so fine, gotta find me a honey. Got my Ray-Bans on and I'm feeling hella cool tonight. Yeah, everybody's vibing, sometimes nobody's starting a fight. Oh, cheers to the freaking weekend, I drink to that, yeah, yeah. Oh, let the Jameson sink in, I drink to that, yeah, yeah. Don't let the bastards get you down, turn it around with another round. It's a party at the bar, everybody put your glasses up and I drink to that. And I drink to that. Ah, it's a bop. Oh my gosh, okay, just a quick side note here, but look at this keyboard that was sent to me by New Key. This is their Rhymic Retro keyboard. It's so freaking nice. Like, you guys know I've been wanting a keyboard like this for so long because it has like typewriter sounds when you type on it. Like, oh my god, it makes the best sounds. It's so great, and it has this really cool unique design which I really like because it has this little handle here that you can put either your phone or like an iPad right here, or like I have it hooked up to my laptop right now so I can be typing on my laptop screen. What's nice though is that it does have the wireless Bluetooth connection option, so I do have it plugged in right now to my laptop, but they do have a Bluetooth option so that you can connect it to your phone or your iPad if you had it right here, and you can just type out some long emails on your phone or your iPad. As you can see here, it has this really cool LED backlight that is blue, and these keys are rose gold on this version of the keyboard, but they have like so many different colors available and so many different styles, but I really personally like this one. I feel like it looks so sleek and so cool. Also, just an extra side note, but when you hit the FN button, it turns the lights on, and then when you hit FN and DEL, you can change the kind of lights. So it'll do stuff like this, which looks really, really cool. and every time you hit it, it'll like change it to a different mode. So like the light will kind of be like moving. It looks so cool. And of course, you can type effortlessly, just like it's a regular keyboard. It gets to sound really cool while you do it. Like, I'm obsessed with the keyboard noises. I almost want to do an entire ASMR video just on this keyboard. Spacebar makes great sounds. So yeah, I will leave a link down below, and if you want to get one of these keyboards using that link, you will save $10 on one of these keyboards, which is pretty cool. So thank you so much to Nuki for sending me this and for setting up that discount code for my followers. I really do think this would make a really great Christmas gift. I mean, I was considering getting a keyboard for so freaking long, and I'm so glad that I got this one because it's so nice. Got my new Frozen Lake candle. It's a bit later in the night. I'm on the way to work, and this afternoon I finished, spoiler alert, and this book was really cute. I think I'm gonna give it like 4 stars. The ending definitely got a little bit cheesy for me, for my personal taste, but it was still really cute nonetheless, and I just grew to really love these characters, and I especially loved their family dynamics and how this book kind of talks about how just because, you know, your parents are your blood related parents, it doesn't necessarily mean that they can just like dictate your life and make you feel terrible about yourself. Like, this book just really shows that parents should be supportive and loving, and like that's what makes someone a parent to someone, you know? So it's like, I just really love the family dynamics in this book, and I think these conversations are really important because he deals with a lot of different insecurities, as does she, and when their parents just harp on them constantly and bring up those insecurities, it's really hard for them to have a relationship with their parents. And I just think that whole conversation was really touching and really important, and I think that every parent should treat their child with love and support. And yeah, it was a really great time. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I saw in the back too that she's coming out with another book next summer, I believe in 2021, and I think it's gonna be following one of the side characters in this book, so that's exciting. I'll probably read that one next year, but really enjoyed this. It was really cute, it was really soft. Now it's a Friday night, I'm going into work.
It's getting real dark in here. Feels like I've been here 1,000 years. Could you bring some light to me, or just sit beside me and never leave?
Hello, I am finally back home. It's been a very long day. It's almost midnight already. I don't know where the night has gone. I just came home and I made an egg sandwich, and then I just hung out with my sister for a little bit, and now it's almost midnight. And tomorrow morning I have to go to a meeting, so I have to be up at like 8:15, so I don't think I'm gonna get a chance to read tonight. I would really like to jump into Written in the Stars next though. Oh, my car's frozen. I'm awake, it's early, and it's cold. It's only 33 degrees right now, and I'm on the way to the meeting.
Everyone's represented.
It has been a very long day. It's like 2:30 in the afternoon now, and I haven't updated you on much because I've just been doing a bunch of things. I had my meeting this morning and it ended around 10. I got Starbucks on the way home and I ate some food, and then I had to go down to the post office to pick up all those packages that didn't get delivered, and then I had to film a video really quick, and then I had to shower and wash my hair, and now it's 2:30 in the afternoon. But I am planning on starting Written in the Stars, and I still have some of my Starbucks coffee left, so I'm just gonna heat it up and drink some of it and start this book. I'm really excited about this one because I don't actually know too much about what this one is about, besides the fact that it's a female-female romance. So I haven't started reading yet, but I am making cornbread. This is Pillsbury. They do like cornbread now in these things, and they were so good. We had some the other night and like they were so great. So I'm making some for a snack right now. And also this is the drink that I got from Starbucks earlier today. I just tried it. It's called a chestnut praline or praline latte, and it's really good. It's like one of their Christmas special holiday drinks or something, but I really love it. Rachel's boyfriend Obed got it yesterday and he let me try a sip of it, and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever tasted. So I think this is my new obsession, my new drink. Major yum. He wants the cornbread. No, Tangy, that's not for you. I know you think it is, but it's not. There's nothing in my hand. Oh my gosh.
A significant light, just where it was needed, gleaming black as night, cloistered in injustice, dead in the eye of time. Nobody is losing, faces merchant change, but your face remained the same. The swallows will be here by dawn.
Hello, it has been a really long day and it's been a while since I've last updated you and just sat down with you. It's past midnight right now, but earlier today I was able to read up to page 104 of Written in the Stars, and it's really good so far. I'm really enjoying this. I pretty much had no idea what this was about going into it, but it's basically like this female romance, and it takes place in Seattle, which is really fun. We're mainly following this girl Elle, who is an astrologist, and she runs this website called Oh My Stars. It's like a Twitter account or whatever, and her roommate both run it, and that's kind of like what she does for a living. And then her love interest is this girl Darcy, who's like this total like pessimistic character. Their characters could not be more opposite, but it's really fun to read about because of that, because Darcy is like a total pessimistic kind of like grumpy character, you know, and then Elle is like the lighthearted, fun, loving character, and seeing their chemistry together because of that is just really entertaining. So this book starts off with Darcy's brother sets them up on a blind date because he thinks that they're gonna hit it off really well, and then the date goes horribly wrong. It's like a really terrible, awkward first date, and it ends with her spilling wine on the other girl, and then she ends up leaving, and it's just like terrible. But then they find themselves in a situation where the brother thinks that they're together because Darcy like refuses to tell him that the date went bad, and so she tells him that they're together, and then they get caught in this awkward lie, so they decide to like fake date instead. So that's kind of where we're at. It's like it's gonna be a fake relationship, and they said they're only gonna fake date through the holidays, and then their fake dating is gonna end on New Year's Eve. And so far it's really cute. I really do love the talk about astrology in this book, because astrology is something I've not been into it for like a really long time, but just in these last few recent years I've started getting more into astrology and thinking it's like really cool. And I like that Darcy is a Capricorn, which is my sign, and it makes total sense because she's kind of like a cold bitch, and like I can totally be like that at times. And when she was like reading her, like there was like a recent scene where she was like reading her, she's like, Capricorn's an earth sign. You're realistic, reserved, probably a little circumspect, not known for taking risks, but you're responsible, so kudos there. And just everything she was saying about Capricorns, I was like, dude, relatable. I've always known like my biggest trait as a Capricorn is my stubbornness, and I can definitely see that with Darcy's character as well. So it's kind of cool having that like to relate to with Darcy in this book. I don't know, so far I'm really enjoying this, and I can't wait to read more of it. However, it's past midnight and I don't think I'm going to be able to read any more of this tonight because I do work in the morning and I'm kind of like super tired from waking up early this morning, so I think I'm gonna call it a night.
You guys to my car right now. Let's go to the cars beside them.
Hello, it's been pretty much a full 24 hours since I last updated you. I'm sorry about that. I had work this morning and then I came home. We had kind of like an early dinner and then we ended up just watching some romantic comedy movies. We watched This Means War, which is like one of my favorite guilty pleasures. It has Reese Witherspoon in it and it's one of Rachel's favorite movies, and we were just kind of doing like what she wanted to do tonight to try to like ease the mood, you know, because tomorrow morning my sister is getting surgery. I don't know, we're all just kind of like nervous and freaked out and really stressed about it, so I don't know if I'm gonna be getting a whole lot of sleep tonight. But we have to wake up at 7 because then she has to check in at the hospital at 8 a.m. and then the surgery is at 10. And so yeah, it's about 11 o'clock at night right now, and so I'm thinking I might just try to read this book for like the next hour if I can pay attention and focus on it, because not gonna lie, I'm like pretty stressed out for tomorrow. Like, this surgery is kind of a big deal and I'm just really nervous for her, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to focus on a book, but I also feel like maybe it might be the distraction that I need right now. Like, I don't really know how I'm feeling yet, so I might try to read right now. I have this whole next week off of work, so today was my last day working for a week, which is pretty exciting, but I don't know, it's hard to be excited or happy about anything right now with this surgery looming tomorrow morning. So, and that hopefully she will feel some relief soon. So yeah, I don't know if I do read anything tonight. I'm not sure when the next time I will update you with my thoughts will be, just because I have a feeling tomorrow is going to be a very chaotic and stressful day. Hello, so it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the next day. It's December 7th, and this morning my sister had her surgery, and she just got into recovery about almost 2 hours ago now, and we're still just like waiting in the car because we are not allowed to wait in the hospital, so we're just kind of waiting for her to wake up from the anesthesia, and then we'll be able to like go in. Well, my mom will be able to go in, but they're only allowing like one person in right now, and yeah, so I've just kind of been waiting around all day today, which has been really hard, but I feel like I'm happy because the worst of it is past now, you know, at this point. And the doctor called us 2 hours ago and he said the surgery went really well and there was like no major concerns or nothing like that, so he said it was a quick and easy surgery, which is really good to hear because it was a really stressful night and stressful morning and just a really long day. Anyways, I wanted to let you know that last night I did actually stay up and I read 100 pages of Written in the Stars. I got to page 208, and I'm so glad that I ended up trying to read this last night because this book is the perfect distraction for me right now. I'm just loving these characters so much, and I feel like I'm relating to both of them for different reasons. The one girl I relate to obviously because she's a Capricorn, which is my star sign. The girl Darcy is like the redhead girl, and she's the one who's the Capricorn in this, and I'm just relating to her so much because the other girl keeps telling her like, oh, be careful, your Capricorn is showing, every time she's like doing something that's like a total Capricorn thing, and I just love it so much. Like, she's such a like control freak, like she doesn't like things that are out of her control, and like I'm definitely the same way, and I'm just relating to her for so many reasons. But then I'm also relating to Elle for so many reasons too, of just kind of like this personal thing that she's going through in this book. It's also kind of similar to a personal thing that I'm going through that I don't really want to share, but I'm relating to her so much too. The line that Elle said that really stuck with me is she said, I'd rather fail at something I love than succeed at something I don't. And like that line just really hit me right now in this moment in time. I just feel so like giddy when I'm reading about them, and I'm so happy, and this book has just, it's meant so much to me, especially because I've just been so sad and like anxious these last few days, and it's been a really tough time lately, and this book has just been helping me get through it so much. So I'm forever grateful to this book just for that alone. And not only that, but I do really like astrology, and I love astronomy, which is really cool because not only is Elle like interested in astrology, but she's also really into astronomy, and she like knows a lot about space and like the stars and like everything like that. So I absolutely love that. I mean, it's called Written in the Stars. Like, I knew it was gonna have some like space talk, at least in this book, and I love it. I love it so much, and I'm surprised by how much I'm loving this book. Like, it's so great. But anyways, that's the update. We're still waiting in the car for my sister to get out of the hospital, so Hello, it is December 9th. It is Wednesday, and these last 2 days have been some of the hardest days I've ever had in my life, because after Rachel's surgery, that was on Monday, she came home and she was just in a lot of pain, and I think we kind of just assumed it was because, you know, she just had surgery and the anesthesia was starting to wear off, and she was just not doing very well, and it was a really long night. She didn't get any sleep, and she said the painkillers didn't even feel like they were working for her, and she was throwing up every single time she was getting up to go to the bathroom, and it was really bad. And then on the next morning, on Tuesday morning, she started to get a fever. So we started freaking the fuck out, and we called a nurse, and she told us to bring her into the emergency room. So then yesterday, me and my mom went to the emergency room with Rachel around like 11:30 in the morning, and then we dropped her off, and it sucks because we can't even go in the emergency room with her because of COVID restrictions. So we had to like wait in the car, and she got taken in right away. Like, she didn't even have to wait in the waiting room, like she just got taken straight to the back because of how terrible she looked, I guess. We ended up waiting yesterday all day in the car. We were just waiting, me and my mom, and they did a bunch of like CT scans and blood tests on her, and they eventually found out that she had some kind of hole that was caused during the surgery. I think it was on her actual kidney. Because there was this hole, it was causing urine to leak, and that was what was causing her so much discomfort. I feel so bad because like the doctor was like shocked that she wasn't prescribed any like nausea medication afterwards either. Sorry, I had to move because some guy was staring at me. It was freaking me out, but yeah, so she ended up having to stay the night in the hospital last night because they had to keep her overnight to like drain out all that urine that was causing her so much pain, and then they wanted to give it time to heal and put her on some like antibiotics before she gets sent home. But what really sucked is that she isn't allowed to have any visitors after visiting hours, which ended at 9 o'clock last night. But then they told us, like, we were still waiting in the parking lot at this point around like 4 o'clock, and they told us that it might take up to 5 hours for her to get a hospital room just because the hospital is like so overcrowded right now. So unfortunately she wasn't even able to get a hospital room before 9 o'clock, so we were just waiting all night just trying to hear if she was going to be able to get a room or not, and if we were going to be able to see her. And even when she got her own room, she would only be allowed one visitor for the entire duration of her stay due to COVID restrictions, because they can't have like different people coming in and out. So my mom was going to be the one to go in with her, but then she didn't even get her room until after 9, so we didn't get to see her at all last night. So it just sucked so bad because we just had to like drop her off at the fucking ER like yesterday at 11:30 a.m. and I haven't seen her since still. And so that's been really hard. Like, god, these last 2 days have just been the fucking worst. Like, I don't think I've ever cried this much, and it sucks because I just keep imagining her in that hospital bed, like all alone. Like the day we picked her up from her surgery and we were driving home, she was like such a zombie. She looked so pale and so fragile, and I fucking cried so hard. Like, as soon as I got like out of her sight, I cried so fucking hard, like I couldn't even breathe. I felt so bad because then even her boyfriend was like, you know, Obed was like letting me know like it's gonna be okay and like comforting me because I was fucking losing it. But it's just been a really hard couple of days, but luckily we were able to talk to her last night after she got her hospital room. She had access to a phone, so she was able to call us, and she did sound a lot better. Like, not better, but like she sounded so much better than when we had first dropped her off. So that made me feel better that I was able to sleep a little bit last night after I was able to talk to her. But this morning we got some good news because my mom is with her in the hospital now. She's been there since like 7 a.m. and Rachel was able to call me this morning around like 8 in the morning, and she was talking to me and saying that she thinks that the doctor said that they won't need to do a second surgery, hopefully, and that she might be able to come home tonight. They said they're gonna put her on antibiotics and she's gonna have to have a catheter for the next like 5 to 7 days, but she should be able to come home as long as she can like walk around the room in the hospital without feeling sick. And so I just know this next week is gonna be really, really tough, but I'm just so happy that she's probably gonna be able to come home tonight. And yeah, I don't know, that's the update. It's been a really, really shitty, stressful time, but I'm just hoping she feels better. Like, I just really hope she feels better. And I'm just out because I had to go to the apartment to pick up more stuff because we were only really planning on staying at my parents' house for like 3 days tops, but we're probably gonna end up staying there for a lot longer than we initially planned, so.
These kids are pets, but I know you can't decide.
Girl. Say hi, Phoenix. Beautiful girl. Oh. She's such a big baby. Look at her. It's just been a really, really difficult time for Rachel and for me and my family. It's just been really hard to deal with this, you know, because like my sister is like the person I'm closest to in this whole world. So these last 2 days have really sucked, and I'm not gonna cry right now, but I just wanted to update you that I am nearly finished with Written in the Stars. I've just kind of been like reading whenever I get the chance to. Like, it's kind of been hard, not gonna lie, to like pay attention to reading. Like, I've barely read anything in the last 2 days, but I do only have about like 30 pages left. I was reading this like right before I went to bed last night, but it was just really hard to focus, and I'm loving this book so much that I just wanted to be able to give my full attention to it. So I do have some time this morning and this afternoon, because we're not expecting Rachel to be able to come home until probably later this afternoon. At least that's what the doctors are saying. I have some time to kill this morning, so I figured now would be a really good time to finish reading Written in the Stars. And then I might bust out like that Heartstopper graphic novel, just because those are like really easy to get through and they're really like short and sweet, and it'll make me happy, I know. And honestly, like, I appreciate this book so hard right now just because of how it's distracting me from like what's going on in my life. And so it's just really comforting to have any kind of distraction right now, but this book is definitely doing that for me. Like, it's really cute. I just relate to Darcy so much every time she talks about how like she's Capricorn and how like she has all these quirks because of that. Like, I just relate to a lot of different things for her. And I just love Elle as a main character. Like, I just adore her so hard. I do think that the end conflict is getting a little bit like too drawn out, in my opinion. Like, it's taking a little bit long to resolve this kind of like ridiculous conflict at the end of this book, but besides that, I'm really loving it, and I'm gonna finish it now. And if you've been a subscriber for quite a long time, you might recognize this room is my old room in my parents' house. I used to sleep in here with Phoenix all the time. Girl, look at this baby. Oh, Phoenix. She's still such a baby. She's 3 years old now. Phoenix, you are the light of my life. Jolly ass book. Thank you. Hello, it's a little bit later in the afternoon. I'm drinking my mom's jolly as fuck mug, even though I'm not feeling jolly today. And I just finished Written in the Stars, and this book was so freaking cute. I loved it for so many reasons, and I think I'm probably gonna end up giving this one like a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Like, I really loved it. I would only knock off a half star just because again, like I said earlier, I do think the ending got a little bit dragged out, and it was just unnecessarily, like, their conflict just wasn't it just didn't need to be that dramatic. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, their conflict, it was like, okay. There was so much that I loved about this book. I loved both of these main characters so much. I love the fact that both of their families have really interesting and complex family relationships. Like, both of their families feel very fleshed out and very real, and their problems are very real. And I kind of feel like this is similar to Spoiler Alert, in the sense that both of these characters have these kind of issues with their parents, where their parents aren't totally accepting of like their jobs and who they are. But I also really love the fact that this is a book about, you know, two women who are in a relationship together, and it's never once brought up. Like, they never once have to like come out to their families, which I really enjoyed, because I usually hate in these romances where like every single time there's a gay character they have to come out to their families, and that has to be used as like a plot device. And so I really like in books like this where it's not even brought up once, and like their families are completely accepting of them in that sense. Their families never once were unaccepting of them because they were gay or because they're lesbian or because they're bisexual, but it was, they only had issues with their family because of like either the way they grew up, like something happened, and or like their families aren't accepting of their jobs and like things like that. So I appreciate that this is like a lesbian, bisexual, gay love story without the need to use the coming out thing as a plot device. And it was so beautiful. I loved all the talk of astrology in this book, and even like astronomy and like the galaxies and like the moon, and just all the talk about like space. I loved that so much. It just really spoke to me because, you know, I'm a huge fan of like astronomy and outer space, and like all of my favorite books of all time kind of talk about like the universe and how vast it is and all that kind of stuff. So I love that, and I do love getting to learn more about astrology because I'm not gonna lie, I used to be kind of skeptical of like astrology, and I'm like, that's not real. But then like as I started to get older and I started to learn more about it, I was like, this is actually really interesting. And like, you know, I'm a Capricorn just like Darcy is in this book, and I just relate to so much of this stuff. And like anytime I look up like astrology stuff, anytime it talks about a Capricorn, I just relate to it so hard, and I'm like, you know what, maybe there might be some truth to this. And so I mean, I'm not an expert by any means on like astrology things, like I still don't know probably more than half of the things that deal with astrology, but it's just really cool to like read about a main character who does know a lot of things, and just to kind of hear more about like her job and like what she does. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. And fake dating is also just one of my favorite tropes. Like I just love seeing characters kind of being forced into this situation together where they have to fake date, and then they're, because of their like close proximity and all this time they're spending together, they just slowly start to catch feelings. It's one of my favorite tropes, and I just really loved it. And I'm really excited because this is this author's debut novel right here, so I cannot wait to read more books from her. I saw in the very back here that the next book is going to be coming out in the summer next year, and it's called Hang the Moon, and it's going to be Brendan's story, which is Darcy's brother, and he was definitely one of my favorite characters in this book, so I'm really excited to be able to read his story next year. That's something to look forward to. But really loved this one. Definitely my favorite romance that I've read so far for this video. It was so freaking cute. And now I'm going to bust out Heartstopper 2 and finish my coffee. I just finished Heartstopper Volume 2, and it was so freaking cute. And I just nearly cried at the end. I don't know if it's just because I'm like overly emotional right now, but it was so cute. And I liked this one just as much as I liked the first one. And I know I was just mentioning, when I was just talking about that last book, I was saying that I appreciate when books about gay people don't use coming out as a plot device. But this book definitely does that, but I feel like it's done in such a tasteful way, you know, because one of the boys, you know, like this is more like a young adult kind of novel anyways, like they're in high school, and one of the boys, Nick, is sort of coming to terms with the fact that he might be gay. He's just kind of like exploring his sexuality, and he thinks he might be bisexual. So I definitely don't mind, obviously, when that's used in books, but this was so cute. It was just so precious. And I love the fact that Alice Oseman like not only writes these graphic novels, but she also illustrates them. Like I think that's so cool, and like she's just so talented. Like she just does it all herself. I mean, yeah, like I said, I think I enjoyed this one just as much as I enjoyed the first one. Like these two characters are just so soft and so cute, and this series is just so heartwarming. And I just can't wait to get to the third one. I don't know why she like hates being on camera so much. She gets so camera shy. So beautiful. You're so pretty. Yes, you are. I know Phoenix misses Mom and Rachel because they've been at the hospital all day. Like 11 o'clock at night, and I haven't updated this vlog in the last couple of hours, but that's because my sister got home from the hospital tonight around like 4:30 at night, and luckily I'm really happy to say that she is doing really well. She looks so much better than she did on the day that we had to take her into the hospital, and after her surgery she just feels like she has some of her spirit back, and you can tell that she's not in as much pain as she was before. So I'm very grateful for that. And I know that these next few days are going to be really hard for her still, as she's still recovering from everything that she's gone through in these last few days, but I'm just so happy to know that she's at home and she's resting, and she just looks so much better. Like we were just catching up and talking all night, and it just feels so good to have my sister back and to not be so worried about her constantly. So it was a really great night. And anyways, it's about 11 o'clock at night right now, and me and my mom just got finished watching that movie Holiday that's on Netflix. I already watched it with Rachel like a few weeks ago, but my mom hadn't seen it yet, and I thought it was such a cute movie, so I watched it with her, and I just love that movie so much. It's just so freaking cute. I just really love Emma Roberts, so I think that's the main reason why I love it so much. But anyways, I just wanted to let you know that I'm planning on starting In a Holidays by Christina Lauren, which is like the last book that I want to read for this romance vlog. And I'm very excited about it because, not only because, you know, it's Christina Lauren, like they're one of my absolute favorite romance authors, but also because this, you know, book has Christmas romance vibes, and I'm just really curious to see Christina Lauren's take on like a Christmas romance, and because I've heard that this story involves a time loop. You know, so it's like characters living the same day over and over again. It's so weird here. On the inside flap, it says 1 Christmas wish, 2 brothers, and a lifetime of hope. So does that mean it's gonna be like a love triangle between a girl and 2 brothers? I don't even know. I'm not even gonna read the description. I'm just gonna jump in blind. I'm kind of nervous for this one though, because I don't usually like Christmas themed books. I don't know why. They just usually never end up being my thing. But because it's Christina Lauren, I will trust it. I thought it was cute too earlier. Like, I forgot to mention that other book, Written in the Stars, that I read earlier. I feel like it's the perfect book to read for December because towards the end of the book it was like Christmas time, and you know, their whole thing with fake dating was only going from like November-ish time until New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. It was gonna like expire on New Year's Eve. So like I feel like that is a perfect like wintry cozy December book because it all takes place mostly during December and like around Christmas time. It is the next morning, and my god, so much has happened since I last updated you. My sister is home, but you know, it's still just been really hard, you know, dealing with her recovery at home because I know she is still in a great amount of pain, and it's just really hard to, you know, see her like this. It's just really hard, and I just want her to feel better. As far as my reading went last night, I did actually read about 100 pages of In a Holidays before bed, and I don't love it, and I don't know, I feel like I just don't really like these characters, and I feel like I just don't really know these characters, I guess, but I'm only continuing to read it because I am invested in like the plot and like the idea of this, because I guess I didn't realize it follows this girl who like she's at her like family's cabin or whatever for Christmas. She finds out that the family is going to be selling the cabin, and they like share this cabin with like a few other families during Christmas time. And so after she finds out that news, they get into this car accident like immediately after, and then when she wakes up after the car accident, she's back on the plane like earlier that week heading to the cabin. And so she keeps having these experiences where she's like stuck in this time loop, and she goes back through like the whole week of Christmas again. And so she keeps finding herself waking up on this plane over and over again, and she doesn't know why. So far it's okay. Like, I will say I'm 100% not invested in the romance at all. Like, can you even call this book a romance? Like, I don't know. I would definitely consider this more of like a magical realism contemporary feel kind of book so far. Other news, I woke up to the news this morning that Taylor Swift is dropping another album unexpectedly tonight. It's gonna be called Evermore, and I woke up to so many texts and so many Instagram DMs, like, oh my god. So excited, obviously. It's such a weird time though. And I just feel it, like, it just feels so bittersweet, you know, because obviously, like, I'm fucking stoked that Taylor Swift is coming out with a new album tonight, and I just can't wait to hear all the songs, but I just really hope that my sister is like up for it, you know, because like we listen to every single Taylor Swift album together, and like I refuse to listen to it without her if she's not ready to listen to it tonight, or if she's like not in the mood. I don't know. So we'll see if I listen to it tonight with her, but fingers crossed. So I have another really shitty update, and I'm sorry this vlog has gotten so fucking depressing, but it's Thursday night, and earlier today we had to take my sister back to the emergency room because she was still having a lot of pain on like the left side of her body, which I guess they told us isn't normal, and she got her fever back. It was like at 100.3 when we checked it, and we called the nurse that talked to us last time, and she told us with those things like we had to take her back to the ER. Like there was no other option. So we ended up having to take her back to the ER around like 1:30 this afternoon, and it sucks because, you know, I felt like she was doing so good last night and I really thought things were going to be on the mend, and you know, I keep telling myself, I'm like, this week can't get any worse, as like a joke, and it's like, clearly it can, and it has. Yeah, I'm just pretty devastated and heartbroken right now because, you know, Taylor Swift's new album is literally dropping tonight, like unexpectedly. It just sucks so much. Like, me and Rachel have never not been together, you know, during one of her album releases, and usually like the days that Taylor Swift drops albums are usually like some of the best days of my life. Like, I just remember those memories like so strongly, and it's just really sad that this album is gonna have these like really sad memories associated with it. And I'm just so sad. Like, she took Obed's AirPods with her to the hospital so that she can listen to it tonight in the ER, because I told her, I was like, I will not listen to the new album without you. Like, I will wait until you're home from the hospital. And she was like saying that she would really prefer to listen to it tonight because she really wants a distraction while she's in the ER and because she's not gonna have anything else to do. So I was like, yeah, I totally understand. And you know, she has her phone with her, so I can call her like after we hear the album and we can talk and stuff, but like it's just so hard. Like, the hospital did call and they said they're keeping her overnight again today. Just a really shitty week. It's a really shitty week, and like obviously I'm looking forward to Taylor's new album and like I am excited, but it kind of sucks that this timing right now, like this is really bad timing, because I can't be as excited as I want to be because of everything going on, you know? Like, this is just really it's such a stressful week. Like, I'm just so done. I don't know how much more I can handle emotionally this week. Like, it's just been really hard. But anyways, I just wanted to update you because I am gonna try to finish that Christina Lauren book tonight before the new Taylor Swift album comes out, because it's only like I think it's like 6 o'clock at night now, so I still have like 3 hours to kill. Since Rachel's gonna be there all night, I definitely have some time to kill, so I'm gonna try to finish that before the album comes out. Maybe we'll see if I can actually finish it though, or if I care enough to finish it. Who knows? Say hi, Tank. Say hi. Hi. Keeps bothering Phoenix. Tank's favorite new pastime is to annoy Phoenix. That's just what he does. Oh my god, he just has so much energy. Look at him. Just look at him. Oh my god. He's so scared of him. Tank, come here. Okay, Phoenix. Okay. Tank, down. Come on. Tank. Alright, so here's the final update for this vlog because I am just done. I think I'm gonna DNF in a holidays. I just don't really care. I only read a tiny bit last night. Like, I only got to page 116, but I'm just not enjoying it, and I cannot bring myself to read anything right now that I'm not enjoying because I am not enjoying life right now. And so last night there was another really shitty update. My sister texted me at like 7:30 last night and she was like, they're taking me into the operating room right now, they're gonna call mom. And I was like, what the fuck? Because we were just waiting on the results from her CT scan and we knew that there was the chance of another surgery, but like we had no idea that they were actually gonna take her into the operating room like last night. And like, oh my god, it was so awful. The nurse just called us and she said she didn't really have any information that she could give to us because the doctor just had to like take her in, and we asked if it was an emergency. She said she didn't even know that. She didn't know what the surgery was for, and she didn't know how long the surgery was gonna take. So we were all just sitting here for hours like waiting to hear an update about this surgery that we didn't know if it was an emergency. We didn't know what it was for. Like, it was literally one of the longest nights of my life. Sorry, oh my god. And then on top of that, like, Taylor Swift's album dropped while she was in surgery, and it was just really sad. But luckily we got a call around like 10 o'clock last night, and the doctor called and he said the surgery went well, thankfully. I guess what ended up happening was when he did the first surgery on her, he accidentally like nicked her kidney where there was like a really thin lining, so it was causing like a leakage of urine to like make her really uncomfortable, and there was just a lot of fluids that he had to drain out, and he put in this new tube that he thinks is gonna work so much better so it drains and she doesn't have to wear a catheter anymore. And I mean, luckily the surgery went well, and they're keeping her at the hospital until Saturday, tomorrow, so she's not gonna come home for a while. But I'm almost happy about that because I feel like last time they just released her too soon, you know, and I just don't want her to be uncomfortable at home. Like, I'd honestly just rather have her be in the hospital if she can be. So yeah, she's in the hospital still, and she texted me really early this morning and said she's doing okay now. God, this week has just sucked so fucking much. Like, I just can't believe, I never expected this week to go this way. I mean, when does anybody ever expect the worst, you know? I don't know, and I'm usually a really pessimistic person, but I've been trying to be positive, you know, for my family and for her, and it's just been really fucking hard. But on the bright side of things, you know, Taylor Swift did just drop a new album last night, and usually I'd be just like absolutely fucking stoked, obviously, and I am stoked, but it's like, it's hard, you know. But this morning Rachel texted me at like 6 in the morning. She was texting me like her updates on the songs, and I was like, dude, I haven't listened to them yet, like I'm waiting for you. And she was like, listen to them now. Like, she was just texting me. So we listened to the first half of the album together, like just texting each other back and forth our thoughts on the songs and stuff. And then her nurse had to come in and like check her vitals, so she had to like put the music away. And then she said her AirPods were like a little bit out of reach, like she couldn't reach them after the nurse was in there. So we're gonna listen to the second half of the album later. And so far I really do love the album. I think it's so good and like so different and unexpected from her. Like, I thought it would sound really similar to Folklore, but I feel like it doesn't. Like, I don't know, I feel like it's definitely its own thing. And so far I feel like Evermore has a stronger first half of the album than Folklore does, just because Folklore, like, I love the second half of Folklore so fucking much. Like, my favorite section of Folklore is from like Mirror Ball to Peace. Like, that, the second half of the album is like my favorite thing ever. But so far I'm really enjoying the first half of Evermore. I mean, I've only listened up to Coney Island so far, so I don't know if that's gonna change, but oh my god, I love it so much. So that's definitely been nice to be able to like fangirl with her over new Taylor music and just kind of feel some bit of normalcy, you know, because these last couple of days have just been really fucking hard. And you know, as of today, it's 2 weeks until Christmas, so god, I'm just hoping that she's better by Christmas and that we can just have a normal Christmas. Like, that's all I want. Like, I just want her to be healthy and okay and happy. Yeah, that's gonna be the end of this reading vlog because I'm really exhausted, and I know you're probably wondering why I'm even bothering, you know, with all these updates and posting, but I do really like looking back on my vlogs as like memories of my life, you know, and like, even though this is a really shitty time, like, I want to remember these things that we went through. And yeah, I mean, as far as like some of my other December videos that I had planned, like, I don't know if those are coming or not. I did not think this week was gonna go this way, and I just did not expect her to be in the hospital this long, and I didn't think any of this. So I don't really know if any of my December videos are going to be coming. This might be the last you see of me for a while. I'm not really sure. Oh god, what a fucking week. Anyways, if you've read any of these 4 books that I read, please let me know what your thoughts are on them. I think my favorite that I read in this video was Written in the Stars, which was really unexpected. Like, not that I didn't think I would like this one, but I did not think this would be my favorite. And then my second favorite would definitely be the Alice Oseman. Like, god, I adore Alice Oseman so hard, and I can't wait to read the third one. I should just order it now because it clearly makes me happy and I will cry. And yeah, if you've listened to Taylor's new album, let me know. What are your favorite songs on it? What are you feeling? And thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'm sorry that this vlog was so fucking depressing, but life is really fucking depressing right now. So yep, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.